Hi friends, it's Pastor Veronica here with a special story time for you. I have a really cool story, and as you can see, I have a little friend joining us. This is Pepper. Pepper is my dog. Yeah. Say hi, Pepper. Pepper, are you going to sit on my lap for the story time tonight? I think Pepper is going to join us. Now, Pepper has joined us for a few stories since we started doing this, and I think she's going to join us tonight. Are you going to listen to the story, Pepper? I don't know. Well, we'll see. Mwah. Can you say hi, Pepper? Pepper says hi. Can you say hi to Pepper? Pepper, did you hear that? Lots of new friends out there who are ready for a story. Now, are you ready to listen? Or are you going to nap? Well, let's see. Pepper can sit on my lap for our story. Tonight's story is a book called How Things Grow. It's a book all about nature. You can see on the front there's a little girl there, and it looks like she is watering some pumpkins. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have a garden at home. We have a garden, but we don't have any pumpkins in it. Tonight's story, How Things Grow, a book about nature, was written by Nancy Buss and illustrated by Kathy Allert. And there we go, there's a little chipmunk, and it looks like that chipmunk is nibbling on some strawberries. We have strawberries in our garden. So let's begin. Things are changing around you all the time. As winter turns to spring, and then to summer, and then to fall, every living thing in the entire world is changing. Plants are changing, animals are changing. Look, and you can see some of these changes. Here they're showing all the different seasons there. The seasons look a little different in Texas, but there are places we can travel where we can see snow, and there are some places where the leaves change really, really bright colors. But you know what we do have here in Texas? We have a beautiful spring with lots of spring flowers. That's my favorite part of Texas, is how beautiful our spring is. I bet you have seen some of these seasons depending on where you live or where you've traveled. Have you seen snow in the wintertime? Have you seen lots of beautiful fall colors on the trees in the fall? A meadow is a good place to look for changes. Here, in the springtime, small white flowers grow close to the ground. When these flowers die, tiny green berries are left behind. In just a few days, the berries change and grow until they are red strawberries, juicy and sweet. That's when the chipmunk thinks they're good to eat. Look at that, there he is eating some strawberries. Do any of you have strawberries planted in your gardens, or maybe you've gone to pick strawberries at a farm where you can pick your own? I love strawberries. They're really good. We have some strawberries right now at our house. You can see other changes if a pond is nearby. You can catch some tadpoles in a jar and watch them as they grow. At first, the tadpoles are like tiny black fish that swim underwater. But as they grow, they change. Back legs appear, then front legs, and as their legs grow bigger, their tails begin to shrink. The tails grow smaller each day until they completely disappear. Now the tadpoles are frogs. Frogs that hop on the ground, breathe the air, and catch flies for their supper. There we go, do you see? Let's see if I can show you. So right here are the eggs, right? See here are the little eggs, and then they turn into a tadpole. And then their tail goes away, and there's the frog. And look, on this page, the little girl is collecting some tadpoles in a jar. Have you ever seen fish eggs or tadpoles in a pond? A garden too is full of changing, growing things. Here in the summer, thin white seeds begin turning into pumpkins. There are many changes along the way. Plant some pumpkin seeds and see. Soon after the seeds are planted, the first leaves appear. More and more leaves follow, and flowers too. Some of the flowers have long stems. Other flowers have short stems with small green bumps. When these flowers die, the bumps grow bigger and rounder and start to change color. There we go. There's a pumpkin patch. Have you ever visited a pumpkin patch? My family used to live in Washington State, and we loved going to a pumpkin patch in Washington called Remlinger Farm. That's where we would go and pick our pumpkins. When I lived in Maryland and was growing up as a little girl, we used to go to Jumbo's pumpkin patch and get our pumpkins there. When the pumpkins are ripe, you can make changes too. What are they doing with their pumpkins? They're carving their pumpkins. I bet you've carved a pumpkin before too. We usually carve pumpkins around Halloween, and a carved pumpkin is also called a jack-o'-lantern. It is easy to see how a pumpkin grows or how a tadpole becomes a frog, but there are some changes that are hard to see. Hens' eggs hatch, and out come baby chicks that peep and scurry in the dirt. How does that happen? There's the chicken, and there's the little baby chicks. Cheep, 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 cheep. There's a lot of baby chicks there. Do you want to help me count the baby chicks in the picture? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 right there. 12 baby chicks. If you could look inside the eggshell, you would see a spot on the yellow part of the egg. That spot can become a baby chicken. Look, can you see right there? There's a little teeny spot right there. As the mother hen warms the egg, the tiny spot grows. The yellow part, or yolk, is food for the growing chick. Each day the chick grows bigger, and each day it looks more like a bird. After 3 weeks, the egg is ready to hatch. Look at that. Look at the transformation. And then when it grows up, it looks like this. That's the mama hen. And just in case you're worried, the eggs that you buy at the grocery store or get from a farm that you eat, those eggs are not eggs that would become baby chicks. So don't worry, you're not eating a baby chick, I promise. The eggs that we eat are unfertilized eggs, which means that the mama hen hasn't been around a rooster at all. In order for the eggs to become baby chicks, the mama hen has to be with a rooster first, and they get fertilized, and that's how we get the baby chicks. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Caterpillars come from eggs too, but they grow and change in a different way. The egg hatches on a leaf, then the caterpillar eats the leaf. It eats another, and another, and another, and the caterpillar grows. When it's as big as it can be, it spins a cocoon around itself. Look at that. There's the little caterpillar egg and the larvae eating the leaf, and then there's the full-size caterpillar, and there is its home, which is called a cocoon. I wonder if you remember when I read you the story of the very hungry caterpillar and how he made his home a cocoon. Do you remember what happened next after he came out of his cocoon? Inside the cocoon, it changes some more. There you go. Do you see it? And then, what is that? Can you tell me? That's right. It's a butterfly. Trees change too. They don't start out big. A tiny seed falls from a pine cone onto the forest floor and becomes a small seedling. If the sun warms it and if the rains water it, the little tree will grow. It won't grow quickly. You'll hardly notice the change. But in 5 years, the small tree will be almost as tall as you are now. In 10 years, it will reach far over your head. And in 20 years, it will be a very big tree indeed. Now at our house, we have an oak tree, and the oak tree drops acorns. And if we were to plant one of those acorns, and it got just the right amount of sun and just the right amount of water, it would grow into an oak tree. I wonder if you have any pine trees or oak trees near your house. And while that tree is growing, you will also be growing, for you are changing too. You were once a tiny baby. You couldn't walk or talk. You couldn't run or play. Now you are big. You have learned to do lots of things by yourself. And every day you learn more. And every day you do things better. Because each day and each week and each year, you are becoming more and more the special person you are meant to be. And that's the most wonderful change of all. The end. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed tonight's story, How Things Grow, a book about nature, written by Nancy Buss and illustrated by Kathy Allert. This book is actually a book from when I was a little girl. I looked a whole lot different than I do now. I was a lot smaller, and my hair was long and curly, and I didn't wear glasses yet. But I grew up, and I grew, and I changed, and I did all of that while being surrounded by God's love. And I want you to know that God loves you, and so do I. And I hope you enjoyed my story. I'll see you again this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. for our next story. Have a wonderful evening. Good night, friends.